Thank you so much for watching Star Watch Now. If today's story inspired you, moved you, or simply made you curious about what comes next in Wang Yibo's journey, please, sparkles like, sparkles subscribe, sparkles and turn on notifications. Your support helps us bring more uplifting, insightful stories from the world of entertainment straight to you. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep watching Star Watch Now. Glowing star. New York is famous for its indifference. People rush past one another without eye contact, headphones in, eyes fixed on their phones, minds occupied with deadlines and destinations. Yet, on this particular evening, something almost impossible happened. The city paused. Not in a dramatic Hollywood way, but in a subtle, undeniable shift of attention. At one subway station, the usual soundtrack of screeching brakes and platform announcements slowly faded into the background, replaced by a quiet sense of expectation. It began with small details. Security staff in immaculate suits. A different kind of lighting, softer but more deliberate. The glint of jewelry and the unmistakable silhouette of couture weaving through a space normally ruled by trainers and backpacks. Regular commuters, clutching their paper cups and work bags, started to realize that they were not simply waiting for the next train. They were standing inside a living stage. In that moment, the hierarchy between front row and ordinary person blurred. The platform became a shared arena where worlds met. Fashion houses and fluorescent strip lights, red carpet faces and tired students, global luxury and the raw honesty of public transport. It was strange, almost surreal, yet oddly beautiful. For once, people looked up. They noticed each other. They noticed the space they were in. And somewhere between the arrival of a train and the click of a camera shutter, New York did something it rarely does. It really looked, and the city, just for a heartbeat, forgot to hurry. In an environment as visually crowded as a fashion event, where every outfit begs for attention and every detail fights for space, it is easy to disappear into the noise. Yet Wang Yibo did the opposite. He did not need glitter, aggressiveness, or a theatrical entrance. His greatest weapon was simplicity, distilled into one carefully constructed image. Slicked back hair, a clean profile, and a presence that did not shout, but anchored the room. The styling choice mattered. By revealing his forehead and the full outline of his face, the slicked back hair did more than show off bone structure. It created openness. It allowed his expressions to breathe. There was nowhere to hide, and he did not seem to want to. Even when wearing sunglasses, there was a sense that he was not using them as armor, but as an accessory that could be removed at any moment, shifting him from idol to young man on the train with a simple gesture. What truly made his appearance resonate was the balance he struck. He was undeniably fashionable, curated, and polished, yet he carried none of the cold distance that sometimes comes with high fashion. Instead, there was something controlled but gentle about him. A quiet confidence, neither arrogant nor insecure, that translated through every frame. One look from him, slightly tilted head, relaxed posture, a small adjustment of his glasses, was enough to tell a whole story. Said, "I belong here," but it also whispered, "And so do you, just as you are." That is the power of a single look when it is backed by authenticity. Every event has its official highlights, the runway walks, the celebrity arrivals, the carefully choreographed poses for the cameras. Yet, often what stays in people's hearts comes from something unscripted, something that was never meant to be the main attraction. In that New York subway, such a moment unfolded quietly, away from the loudest flashes and the most obvious angles. It might have been the way Wang Yibo stepped slightly aside so an older commuter could pass in front of him, without fanfare, without the expectation of applause. It might have been the quick, almost shy smile he offered when a stranger, clearly unaware of his fame, glanced at him in confusion, wondering if a film was being shot. It might have been a small, respectful nod to a staff member, acknowledging their effort in organizing a complicated event in such a chaotic space. These gestures were not dramatic, but they altered the atmosphere. Suddenly, the divide between celebrity and public felt less rigid. The fashion show stopped being an intrusion and began to feel like a shared experience. People relaxed. Some smiled. Others pulled out their phones, not just to film the clothes, but to capture how surreal and unexpectedly human the whole scene was. The energy shifted from tension to curiosity, from stiffness to warmth. No stage direction could have created that. It came from genuine behavior in an unnatural setting. And in a world where so much is manufactured for the camera, that brief, authentic shift in energy felt more luxurious than any fabric on the runway. Xin Zhilei's presence did not announce itself with volume or drama. She stepped into the frame with the quiet assurance of someone who already knows who she is, without needing a room to confirm it. Her outfit, sharp lines, clean white, carefully chosen accessories, spoke the same language as her performances on screen. Refined, controlled, but never lifeless. She brought with her the invisible echo of the Venice Film Festival, not as a boast, but as a natural extension of her journey. What set her apart was not only her appearance, but her comfort within it. She did not seem to be battling with the environment, trying to overpower the subway's rawness with glamour. Instead, she let the contrast work in her favor. Standing beside turnstiles and tiled walls, her elegance did not feel out of place. It felt like a reminder that dignity can exist anywhere, from theater stages to underground platforms. Then there were the small, humanizing moments. The way she threw her head back in unrestrained laughter at a comment from Wang Yibo. The brief second in which she adjusted her suit, not for the cameras but for herself. The softening of her expression when she caught the eye of someone filming from a distance, acknowledging them with the slightest smile. In those moments, she stopped being just an award-winning actress and became a woman who has worked hard, grown, and allowed herself to be both powerful and relaxed. By carrying her Venice aura into such an everyday space, Xin Zhilei did something quietly radical. She showed that prestige is not defined by marble floors or chandeliers. It lives in how you stand, how you breathe, and how you choose to share your light with the world around you. Traditionally, a runway separates the chosen few from the many. There is a clear division. Those invited to walk, those permitted to watch, and those left entirely outside the conversation. Yet, in that New York subway station, those lines blurred in a way that felt refreshingly modern. The setting refused to obey the old rules. Trains still arrived. Announcements still echoed. People who had never heard of the guest list found themselves in the middle of an international fashion moment. The magic of the night was not just in the clothes or the names attached to them, but in the collision of worlds. Office workers in simple coats stood a few meters away from celebrities in custom Chanel. Students with rucksacks filmed beside editors with luxury handbags. Some had planned outfits days in advance. Others were simply returning home after a long shift. Yet, for a brief window of time, they all shared the same light, the same soundtrack, the same air. In the footage that later circulated online, something fascinating was visible. The eyes of the so-called ordinary people. They were not background extras. They were witnesses, participants, and for a moment, stars of their own story. A woman in trainers became iconic as she unknowingly photobombed an A-list shot. A man in a simple hoodie stood with such natural confidence that viewers joked he should be cast in the next campaign. The runway was no longer confined to a narrow strip of flooring. It extended to every inch of the station where someone stood observing, feeling, reacting. In that sense, the event did more than showcase a collection. It quietly suggested a new definition of glamour, one that includes everyone who dares to be present, to look up, and to let themselves be seen, even without a designer label on their shoulders. New York gave us a runway unlike any other. Wang Yibo gave us a presence impossible to ignore. Xin Zhilei gave us elegance that felt alive and warm. And together, they reminded us that fashion becomes unforgettable when it steps into the real world. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to click like, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another moment of glamour, storytelling, and celebrity insight from Star Watch Now. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay inspired.